Hi, I'm Latrina Patrick with Vision University. That is my online platform that's designed to help you become the best version of yourself. And we are talking about the ABCs of grant writing. We have gone through the alphabet, and at every letter, we have talked about a specific grant writing tip to help you become more successful as a grant writer. We have made our way all the way up to the letter S. Today, we are focusing on the letter S. And this is one of my favorite words, one of my favorite topics to talk about when it comes to grant writing, and that is sustainability. If you have any experience in grant writing, and I know a lot of you don't, but if you do, you will hear this word a lot, especially when it comes to applying for federal funding. So, what is sustainability? Sustainability is really explaining how you're going to sustain your program after the money runs out. So, the funders want to know if we give you X amount of dollars to fund your program for the next 3 years, how can you assure us that this program is going to be around once this money runs out? And that is so critical because you have to start thinking about sustainability long before you get the grant because they want you to write about it, and you need to start focusing on it post grant award almost right away. So, for example, I am a project manager for a $4 million grant with a major university. And we are entering year 3 of the grant this fall. So we're technically still in year 2 of our grant that we received from the feds. And we are talking already, not, I shouldn't say already, because if we were just getting started, we'd be late in the game talking about sustainability. But we had a meeting with our federal funders about a week ago, and the focus of that meeting was, okay, what are you guys doing about sustainability? How are you going to sustain this program? Now, this is a $4 million program that we've been funded to do. We don't have that kind of money to fund it fully at that level, but that's really not the most important part when it comes to getting funding. The most important part is if you can't get the money, and money should be a part of it, and it has to go beyond, well, we're going to get more grant awards. That never ever works. And whenever new and beginning grant writers put that in a proposal, it automatically tells the reviewer that you don't have a lot of experience, because if you're solely depending on getting more grant funds from either that particular funder or from another funder, you're not being realistic, because grant money is not guaranteed. So you have to think beyond that. So you have to look at whether or not your community partners are able to contribute some funding to help you continue with the program, or whether or not there are some viable resources within your organization that you can pull from to help sustain the program. Or you can actually include that you will be applying for more funding, but you can't put all of your eggs in that more funding basket. Now, here's another option when it comes to sustainability. You also can look at sustaining the most effective part of the programs, because it's not necessarily about funding or sustaining the program at full scale. That's the pie in the sky dream, right? We would love to say we had another $4 million to continue this program for another 3 years, but the reality is that's not likely to happen. But we have made some really great impact with some of the results we've seen so far halfway through the program. And what is important to the funder is, how can you sustain these outcomes? Because that's what's really important. So it's not so much of trying to sustain the program at full scale, keeping all the staff and all the extra goodies you get to buy that you normally can't afford to buy from your organizational budget. It's about the work that you've been doing, the positive results you've yielded based on your evaluation, and trying to sustain that. So an example of the project that I'm overseeing, we have a partnership with a local school system here, and we are funding a major program with a lot of their teachers. And so we want to be able to sustain some of the outcomes that the teachers are getting from being involved in this program that are going to pay off in the classroom, and the school system is going to benefit greatly. So we're looking at, we may not be able to continue to fund these teachers to go through our university for this graduate program, but how can the school system contribute to more professional development that will help them continue their education to finish up their degree, because if they do, that's going to benefit the school. So you really have to have your community partners involved to have that discussion so that you can look at what's working and what's not. And so those things that really haven't been effective, because at the beginning, this really was a pilot project and it was a hypothetical, and some of the things that we are attempting to pull off, and some of those things have not panned out, and some other things have panned out even better than we anticipated. So how do you look at, removing some of those components that have not been as successful and building upon those that have been and are proving to be successful, so you can sustain those particular outcomes? So you really have to start thinking about that, and you have to start thinking about that early on. 6 months before the grant runs out is not the time to be thinking about, okay, how are we going to sustain our program? Because it takes a lot more than that. So remember, sustainability is key to your overall success as a grant funded program. And you want to make sure that in your proposals, you are able to demonstrate how you can sustain your program and how you can sustain your outcomes. And this is very important, whether you are applying to a federal funder or not. A federal funder is going to require you to speak to that. And maybe a corporation or private foundation may not, but you get extra points, so to speak, for being able to address that in your proposal, because that shows them that you're really thinking ahead, and funders like that, because again, that will show them that, and we talked about this earlier on in the ABCs, that they are getting a return on their investment. And that is very key to funders. How are they going to get a payoff of what they're investing? So I hope you found that information helpful. And if you are looking for more tips like this, I want to go a little deeper into your knowledge about grant writing, I want you to go over to my website at visionuniversity.com and click on the link for courses. We have an all new Grant University that's kicking off on Monday, March 16th. And we are enrolling people right now. And I hope you'll go over there and reserve your slot, because we will delve deeper into grant writing. And if you go to the website, check out the course, you'll get more information about what we're covering and what you will learn. So in the meantime, I hope that you will remember to create the vision for the life that you desire and you deserve, because you are the only one who can.